Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Spencer.
And this is the Board Game Rundown. Today we are going to review, it's sort of like a combo review, right? Bang the Dice game, but we're going to talk about the old Saloon expansion.
Yeah.
We played with both. We played just with the dice game before. Dan is kind of an expert at Bang the Dice game, so I'm going to let Dan kind of break down how this game plays.
Uh-oh.
And then we'll get into Dan's having troubles today.
Yeah.
Separate this one out from the other.
Basically, he just can't keep track of what die results he needs to use and apply.
Yeah.
But for the rules, he did a good job of explaining the rules when we played. Even though we'd all kind of played before, he refreshed us pretty well.
And just for people's reference, Bang the Dice game is based off of Bang the card game.
Correct.
Right.
DV
This is the dice
Giochi
game.
plays up to 3 to 8 players. And really, you can play this even with learning in about 20 minutes.
Right.
Right?
Oh,
With,
yeah.
It's funny because it's kind of a social deduction game, but like at the same time, you don't really care. Right? It's one of those social deduction games where like you just kind of try to kill everyone that's not you as fast as possible.
You
Right.
were the sheriff, and you were getting me to give you damage because it was more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
because
Um,
apparently Dan is drunk.
So there will be one sheriff, and the sheriff is the only role that is public. Once you get sheriff, you just flip it over. You say, "I'm the sheriff." Okay. The sheriff wins if basically if he's the last person alive. There are deputies, and we have more deputies than normal in here because of the expansion. But basically, the deputy when their team wins if again he's on the sheriff's team. So if the sheriff last person alive, the deputy also wins. The deputy doesn't have to be alive to win. He can sacrifice himself and all that stuff. There are outlaws. They are all on a team together, but again, you don't know who everyone else is, so you're kind of just firing in the dark, waiting to get hints of who your outlaw might be. But they win if the sheriff dies. The second the sheriff dies, their win condition kicks in. So there's also the Renegade, who needs to be the last person alive, kind of like the sheriff, but on the other team. The difference is, since if the sheriff wins, the outlaws win, the Renegade kind of pretends to be the deputy for the first half of the game and kind of kills off the outlaws with them. And then when it's just those 3 roles left, or however many players you have, then all of a sudden it's like, now where's the Renegades hiding in this group of people, right?
So the Renegade needs to kill the outlaws and the sheriff.
Right.
Where-
he can kind of ignore the deputy unless he's being a nuisance.
Where the outlaws can ignore the renegade.
Yep, and just blast.
just kill the
Obviously, though, you don't know who everyone is, so if the outlaws just come out and start blasting the sheriff immediately, okay, well, now the sheriff and the deputies know who the outlaws are, let's just kill them, right?
Right.
So, there's a little bit of pretending to be on certain teams, but for the most part, you just fire wildly.
Roll dice and start shooting.
There's also some other mechanics, right? You'll get characters. I tend to be as nice as possible with this because this can make or break games for people. So I just hand people like 3, 4 characters, whatever, and just let them pick who they want to be. Who cares? Let's just have fun. On your turn, it's Yahtzee-style game. You'll roll dice. You get 2 rerolls.
You definitely want to reroll that.
Yeah, right.
That's a lot of arrows.
To go briefly over it, I guess, if you roll arrows, you take arrow. The second the last arrow is taken, everyone takes damage equal to how many arrows they have, and they return the arrows to the center of the table.
Did you say the second to last arrow?
The second the last arrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
is
I was
taken.
like, it sounded like, why is it when the second to last arrow is taken?
Penultimate arrow.
Yeah.
The 1s and the 2s are damage, but those are ranges, not how much damage they do. So you do 1 damage to a person sitting 1 seat away and 1 damage to a person sitting 2 seats away. The dynamite gets locked up. If you ever roll 3 dynamite, your turn ends, you take 1 damage.
Jimmy Walker comes out, punches you in the face.
Correct.
Dynamite.
A beer heals 1 player, 1 health. You can heal anyone, including yourself. And Gatling gun, if you roll 3 of these, you do 1 damage to everyone else at the table. So that's the basic dice. That's that, and the bullets are your life. That is the entire basic game. Tim, we have an expansion to talk about now.
We do. So the old Saloon adds a special role for the first player who dies. They become a ghost. Depending on the player count, they could be either a deputy or an outlaw, or if they were the renegade when they were the ghost, as the case when our game, when Bob was the renegade, you get the ghost renegade ability, and which just basically tells him what team he's on.
Yeah, puts you on the
puts you on a
outlaw
different
team. Yeah.
Right, put you on the outlaw team or the deputy team, depending on player count.
Correct.
The cool thing about the old Saloon is you've got the Loudmouth and you've got the Coward, so that's 2 extra die. You basically could choose to roll 1 less of the main die and pick one of these. So the Loudmouth has this bullet icon here. He shoots himself in the foot, so that automatically you're going to take a damage for rolling that. But they've got a double one. So because it's got 2 circles around it, you hit somebody 1 seat away from you twice. Still has an arrow, also has a double 2, and there's a double Gatling gun. So that counts as 2 results for the Gatling gun. The Coward is pretty similar. He's got a broken arrow, so you can get rid of an arrow, which is super handy. Also has the double beer icon. And then also the expansion comes with the Chief's arrow. So the Chief's arrow counts as 2, right? Which normally would be a bummer, except that with if you have the Chief's arrow and you have the most arrows, when the last arrow is drawn from the pile and you're going to take damage for each arrow you have, if you have the most and this, you take 0 damage, and then you also get to get rid of all your arrows at the end, just like everybody else. Put them back in the pool. The ghost, actually, I thought the ghosts worked pretty interestingly.
Yeah,
They roll
in the game.
They roll 2 die. They can roll just like everybody else, right? They can roll up to 3 times. They could choose to save results, but then they get to assign one of their results to one player. So in the case of our game, Bob was dead. He was the ghost, and I became the sheriff because of my special role. But he kept giving me dynamite. So that means when I start my turn, I start with a dynamite. So that die face is locked in now, and now I can only roll my other die like normal, and I'm a lot more likely to trigger that dynamite to hurt myself and explode. If Bob had rolled 2 die of the same face, he could assign the double.
That's the double.
Oh, that's a target. He could assign the double, and that would mean I would start my turn with 2 less die that are already locked in at dynamite.
Yep. Or I could
Which is
I
killer.
had the 2 hits one time, so I gave my partner the ×2 and the hits, so that way he was able to get 2 free hits.
Right.
On the sheriff.
Right,
Right away.
and that made a big difference.
It did.
Made a big difference, and that really more or less is right. That's
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously adds more characters, which is a little strange because the art style is so insanely different on the expansion characters to normal ones, but who cares, right? And the other big thing it added, which we've been hinting at, is in the base game, the sheriff gets 2 extra health, and then no one else has any abilities. They're just the rolls, and your abilities come from your characters. But in the expansion, all the roles now have different abilities that you get. So like Tim said, he was a deputy that was able to reveal he was the deputy and become the sheriff then and make me a deputy instead. That's incredible when I have 1 health.
He
and
got down to
has
1
5
health,
or
and
something.
I had like 5, and so I
So
flipped.
yeah, that's great. But Spencer had an insanely powerful. Jeff at one point, I was about to heal 3 life, and Jeff just flipped his over and went, "Nah, you're not healing this turn." It was like, oh my god!
It's like he went to drink the beer and like
And
Jeff
that
shot it out of his
triggered him
hand.
having to
Yeah, and so I had this pretty sweet set of die that like I had settled on. I had rolled 3 times. I had a pretty decent combination, and then Spencer flipped his character and made me re-roll all of them, and I had to just take what
you
I
had in
got,
that one roll. Yeah.
which was a
which
bummer.
stopped
So
him
like,
from healing.
I'm never gonna play without those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
That's
that
a
I
right
would
there.
say-
it's a great addition. to the
I
game.
would say that the expansion, even if whether or not you choose to use the ghost, which I don't know why you wouldn't,
I would
because I
absolutely.
think the
I like the
ghost is really good.
Even if you have multiple characters, usually someone's not going to die until nearish the
Right,
end.
right. That's kind of how the game goes. Is once one
Yeah.
person dies, it's a domino effect of death.
Snowballs.
Yeah,
Great.
so
Yeah, at that
so
point.
you're not going to end up with someone who's dead and the ghost, next person dead, and the second person who was actually out of the game is going to just sit there for 20
Right.
minutes.
I mean, Bob died first. Jeff literally died like the next turn.
Yep.
I died the next turn or the turn after, something like that. And then it was a
And this is
1v1.
like 2 more turns. Yeah.
And then it was 2
So
more
it's really
rounds of
boom, boom,
Spencer
boom,
and I
boom.
Yeah.
just trying to kill
like
each
it
other
just,
off.
Yeah, it snowballs
But
like
the ghost
crazy.
Really
is
quick.
nice if, like, the first time I ever played this, I rolled all the arrows at once,
Mm-hmm.
3 times, and it killed me in basically the first round. If I had the ghost, I would have been still in play.
Right.
So yeah, I really would keep the ghost. It prevents that kind of getting
Yeah.
shot.
And this
and
whole
out of
push
the
your
game at
luck
the beginning.
mechanic is really cool too. The whole swatch out one of the swatch out. That's a thing.
It's a thing
Swap
now.
out one of the normal dice with one of these, very powerful dice. Do you want to do more damage, possibly shoot yourself, or do you just want to like, I need as much health as possible, please roll heals.
but you're
right?
less likely to maybe do extra damage. But
Right. Exactly.
but
There's
yeah,
no extra damage, and there's no Gatling gun on that one.
correct.
Yeah. So like that whole seriously a win all around. I think
Yeah.
I
Oh,
like
I
I
like
like
it.
everything it added. The least important one to me is the ghost one, and even that. Why would you ever play without a chance for the first person to die to keep playing? Why would you ever
Give
play
them
without that?
give them an ability
Player
and put them on a
elimination
team.
sucks.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, anyways, that is really it is that easy to teach Bang the Dice game. And honestly, if you are in a spot where they've got, I'm gonna just say right now, spoiler alert, right? If they've got both Bang the Dice game and Old Saloon available, and you're like, oh, do I want this? Just yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just get it.
Yeah.
Bang the Dice game is a ton of fun without this. But this is like just that extra salt and pepper, right? To spice it up. It does enough for me that it is definitely
I think it's
worthwhile.
worth it.
And like you said, like why would you not, right? Why would you not have asymmetrical?
You say who doesn't love asymmetrical player powers?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you love rolling dice, I mean, doing Yahtzee style, you get to roll a lot of dice.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
for Bang the Dice game anyways, right? So the
Right.
expansion, I wouldn't say that like this game stinks without the expansion, because there are games that
Yeah,
are
no.
hindered without expansions. But
Sure.
this expansion is it just adds
enhances.
it enhances a lot really, because some of them are arbitrary. You get some expansions
Yeah,
that
you're
are like,
like,
that doesn't matter.
Give or take, yeah. But
You
no,
know,
it's a good one.
But you got some good characters.
Mhm.
You got the extra die. The Saloon die are fun. Again, the ghost ability.
And these
the-
player aids,
the
they
chief,
come with
the chief arrow. Yeah, so
yes,
the player aids,
and the new ones come with all the updated symbols
aids.
as
the
well.
updated
yes.
symbols. Player aids are
Love a
solid.
good player
I love
aid.
it. I love it.
Mhm.
I mean, no real complaints.
That's a win.
So let's just go around and give this a rating, and we'll just rate it all together
Sure.
with.
Oh yeah, sure.
Expansion, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
with
we're,
expansion.
I actually think we've rated this before somewhere, even if it was just on a message
think-
board or
yeah, I
something.
think we did.
I
Right.
swear we
Yeah.
have. So I'm kind of focusing on Old Saloon here. I
Yeah, that's
would just
fine.
say I think wherever I did it, I think I gave this a 9. I don't remember where it was, and I'll have to recheck that. But I'll just come straight out of the gate, and I'll say, as far as an expansion goes, I was gonna say a 9, but as far as an expansion goes, I think this is a 10. It takes everything this game does, and it just turns up the dial one notch, and it enhanced everything. It enhanced the player elimination. It enhanced this little mini game that you're playing. It enhanced the character powers and enhanced the roles. This, as far as expansion goes, and it's really easy to get and pretty cheap. So as far as an expansion goes, this is a 10 out of 10 expansion for me. I have to say it.
Yeah. I mean, that's hard to argue.
Right.
Where you at, Bobby? What do you got?
Yeah, I'll say if I'm gonna rate it just like at the expansion, like Dan was saying to the game, I'd give it a 9. It's a great expansion. It's cheap. It adds to the game. There's nothing unnecessary to it. And if I'm gonna play this game, I would say let's play it with the expansion. It's much better with the expansion.
And this is a
So-
great like filler kind of game too, right?
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
could play a couple rounds of this, or like you're getting ready to start game night and somebody's still 15, 20 minutes away. It's like,
Oh yeah, sure.
let's
Yeah.
just get this out. We've got the other game set up. We
Yeah.
can just kind of sort of play this over here off to the side.
And it's like maybe a 5-minute setup because you got to sort what cards you want to use, then deal them out, and you're ready to go.
And
Right.
it's kind of
Yeah.
like riding a bike. You've played it once. You're going to remember how to play it. It's super easy.
yeah, because it had been at least 2 months between plays, and we
Yeah.
all picked it up again
Yeah,
real
real
quick.
fast.
Yep.
So Spencer, what do you give it as far as rating goes?
I'm giving it a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just solid all around. I can't think of any way to improve it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so I would say like all together, everything all together in one box. This is a 9.5 for me because this is like ideal. This is
Yeah.
an ideal situation. This is a game that does not overstay its welcome, even at 8 players. Because just like Dan said, once somebody drops it, everybody starts
The
dropping
domino effect.
very quickly.
Well, this makes that even stronger too, because now people have a reason to reveal their ability early.
Oh,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Right.
So and then that causes even more
You're like,
chaos.
oh, you're a bad guy.
And since one of the outlaws has the ability to prevent someone to make them re-roll, it's a great way for him to save his life at the last
Oh,
second.
yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
somebody's got an ability where they just cancel your ability.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
nice. Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
an
I'm gonna
do this.
ability
No, you're not.
counselor.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So I
Nice.
mean, it really this game I just cannot imagine where it would overstay its welcome. Take too long to play. The dice are really nice. I like big clunky dice.
Yep.
I mean,
I
these
like
are
the,
functional. There's nothing.
engraved.
There's nothing like super special or exciting about these. But anything more than this, it's too big. It's too cumbersome.
Right.
It's excessive.
So with everybody's score,
Yep, that makes it a. So we actually didn't explain it. It makes it a 9.4. But basically, we take all of our scores and we average them together so that you get one score that you can
For the
look up on
rundown.
BGG and stuff as the board game rundown. So
Yep.
yes, technically, Dan liked the expansion more than Bob score wise, but that's not what actually matters. The board game rundown score is what
Right.
matters. So
that number matters.
Yeah.
That number matters.
So-
and actually, this is one of the highest reviewed.
it's first or
Yeah.
second at this point.
And,
It's-
and for you math people out there, yes, we do round up to the nearest 10th.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yes,
and that's fine.
That's called basic math, I
Basic
think.
math.
So
Basic math. But anyways, so Bang the Dice game and the Old Saloon add-on is really, this is just a no-brainer. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it's a must-have, but it is a
Yeah,
no-brainer.
if you see it, get it. You know someone who has that game, doesn't have the expansion, get it for like a Christmas
yeah, a
gift or a
stocking
birthday
stuffer.
present.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
would
birthday
be a
present.
great
Incredible.
little like something to give
Yeah.
somebody.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not certain what the age range on this is, but I mean, my kids would like it.
It says 8 and up. Is what
Eight
it
if
and
says.
they can play Yahtzee
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
don't mind the cowboy theme,
Right,
Yeah.
They can
right.
play
It's
that.
Cowboys and Indians, so you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's fine.
Some of the characters are fun too because they're based on real life people.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
Doc
yeah.
Holliday.
Doc
yeah.
Holliday.
Yeah.
I'll be a Huckleberry. Had to say it.
It was
All right.
Didn't have to.
So, anyways, for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Dan.
And I've been Spencer.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.